What is up, guys? Patrick here for Muse Culture Podcast, and today I am with Martyn, we've got James, Con, Terry, and myself, Patrick. So, I don't know, what do you guys think we should lead off with today?
I picked last time, someone could pick this time.
Well,
this is an awkward way to start a podcast.
Yeah, come on.
Let's go with top.
I'm not being responsible for it this time.
Yeah, we were just discussing what we could talk about, and everybody was told, but
Alright,
nobody said
top of
anything.
the list, Amnesia, Machine for Pigs.
Who's played it?
Me.
What did you
was
think?
Terrifying.
Is it a continuation of the first Amnesia game?
No, it's in the same universe, but it's a separate game. It's been picked up by a separate team as well, the Chinese Room, building on what Fraction have already done. It's set in Victorian London, and you follow some guy with the titular amnesia who's trying to find who he vaguely remembers are his children. Like, the game just opens up in his house, which is weird. It's set out with cages and stuff, and you just find the horrifying sound of children laughing in the distance.
That sounds terrifying. What is the storyline of it?
Essentially, this gentleman wakes up with amnesia, and he's haunted with dreams of a horrific machine that's casting red with lightning, and that's basically all you know as it casts you into the game. And it's you.
And is it the same style as the game?
Yeah,
the previous game.
It's very much still in the first-person horror exploration style of the last game. It's a lot of slowly walking around buildings, opening doors, slowly checking behind them.
Is it the same physics as the last game, where you can move items around and it's quite slow, I'd say, in the walking pace and stuff like that?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty true to life, because I certainly wouldn't want to be moving much faster than this guy was.
Oh, definitely.
But the physics are quite realistic, like you grab drawers and pull them out. Or grab doors and really slowly open and then slam them shut again.
Is there any enemy chasing you, or is it just the atmosphere that makes it scary?
There are enemies, but to be honest, the biggest enemy is the atmosphere. Like, there are some bad guys in it.
Can you actually attack in this one? Because I can remember the last one.
The guy was always kind of almost around the corner all the time, but you can never attack.
I mean, there's some elements that have been taken out of this particular one. So there's like some things that have been kept in, but there's a lot of it that's sort of been changed and overhauled as well, which is quite nice. But it's just your classic horror game. It deals a lot on atmosphere, I think. There's a lot of essentially some of the biggest scares are the ones you create yourself, where you're in your head thinking what's behind that door, what's upstairs in the attic. There's so many moments where I got to somewhere like a door or like a trapdoor, and I was just like, I'm gonna do it. Nope.
So even if you did go ahead and do it, would there be anything there, or was it just your own imagination?
There is the odd scare, but the majority of it is your own imagination. I think I spent a good 5 minutes revving myself up to open the door into what turned out to be the bathroom.
Is it still a linear like storyline, or is it a bit more open world in the sense that you can go to any rooms at any time? Because I remember the last one I felt a bit more like linear in the fact that you kind of just go where it showed you. There wasn't much exploration in
where was the last one set?
It was set in a massive castle, wasn't it? Yeah.
I mean, it's still very much the storyline still leads you from place to place, but there's a lot more grand open areas. I mean, do
you have to still do the same thing with the light source, where you have to find the oil for the light?
At the point at which I played, I don't believe so, but it could be on later on.
Okay.
It was a game like that. It was tough going for me to power through it. I was taking each step as it came.
Yeah.
The big problem I have with those games is the puzzles. They're really unobvious puzzles, if that makes sense.
Yeah, really kind of discreet.
There's like a switch you got to pull, and then, well, where does that switch? What does it activate?
Yeah, I guess it leads you to like walk around the world a bit more and just be more scared. Or,
I'd rather the game be too hard than too easy.
I don't know. I'd much rather a game be very easy, like Saints Row the Third. That was an easy game, and apparently Saints Row 4 as well. It's one of them games that's more like a movie than a game.
Well, that said,
completely.
In contrast, Final Fantasy 13, the game practically played itself. Like every area is one long corridor, and when I went on the battle sequence, the first button was auto. So if you got into a battle and just kept hammering the A button, the game would just play itself for you.
Yeah, I think when games play themselves, it's not it's not a good thing. But when you can play on easy in a game and it's fun but not challenging, I think that's also like a good thing that you can have, but also make sure that there's a mode that people can actually challenge themselves with also, not just have one or the other.
I don't know about you guys, but for me, I always play a game on medium, and I very rarely go back to it on a hard difficulty. I know that people always talk about it, but I never seem to get around to doing that.
I've been starting on hard recently.
Maybe something I should do.
The thing years ago, hard difficulties just meant easy mode, but with unfair deaths.
Yeah.
Yeah, or like extra characters.
That's it, extra characters.
Doom
was just hard on Doom was just more enemies, less health. But it's nice to see when developers actually change up the game type.
Yeah. So what was it? The same developer that created this new Amnesia game with the old one, or was it?
So the first
company?
Amnesia was created by Frictional Games, and this one's been developed by the Chinese Room, but it's been produced and had the final say by Frictional. Chinese Room, of course, were. Originally an independent game studio that developed a Half-Life 2 mod called Dear Esther.
Has anyone played Dear
I've
Esther?
seen that.
I
have never played it, but I've seen it.
It's a beautiful game. Well, it's not even a game. You're talking about walking down a corridor. That's what Dear Esther is. Except the corridor's a beautiful island somewhere in Scotland.
So I guess it's more of an experience then, really.
Very much an experience. You're listening to a poem, and on different playthroughs the chapters mix and match, so it's never the same playthrough, at the same time.
It sounds interesting. I think the beauty of like indie games like that is you really have license to explore things that maybe suddenly when you've got, I guess, financial requirements leading on a game you can't do.
Yeah. I mean, it's so untaxing. You're just walking around looking at the postcards more than anything.
Was Amnesia developed by the same? Sorry, not developed by the same people. Is it an indie game still, or is it now developed by a major company?
It's published by Frictional, who are in no way a gigantic company.
Yeah.
They've well, from what I can see here, they've released 5 games, three of which being the Penumbra sequence, and 2 being Amnesia. So they're certainly not a massive team. But they've certainly got themselves a niche in survival horror.
Yeah, and do they make any other games, or is this the only?
At present, that's it. It's those 2 series, Amnesia and Penumbra.
Okay.
But
it actually looks quite scary looking at the screenshots for this. I'm looking at it on the site of your review. I don't know if I can actually play it without there being brown nuggets at the end.
That should be a tagline on the box.
Brown nuggets.
Warning contains brown nuggets.
Yeah, we'll produce brown nuggets.
Accessories needed, extra trousers.
Yeah.
The graphics on it are really nice as well, because the game's graphics aren't tremendous. There's certainly nothing groundbreaking, but it's at the point where any computer could run it, and it will look just as good on one computer as it would another. The game's really tightened and controlled, so you know that your experience is the same no matter where you go. And
that is useful.
It's got almost like a sort of a raw aspect to it, where it's just like this is pure, unadulterated exploration of this world. So
is this just on the PC, or is it coming out for the consoles?
It's currently it's on PC, Mac, and Linux, which is nice. It's in terms of PC gaming, it's across the board. It's the Steam dream, isn't it? Really, it's a game that can release on every single Steam platform.
Yeah, because Steam have recently started to try and get people to develop games for Linux as well, so they can, I guess, open up for that. And it seems like only the indie games recently have actually, taken to that. I haven't seen any big releases on Linux yet.
I think it'll come, certainly. I mean, I think now with there being a lot like indie games rising, I think we're going to see a sort of a bigger shift to it. And with Windows 8's adoption rates not being particularly massive, I think people are looking for different options now.
Yeah, I mean, does anybody here actually play games on Linux yet? I've never myself played a game on Linux.
No, I can't say I have.
No.
Nope.
I mean, I'd think about giving it a try.
Yeah,
really.
I think it's not a shot.
Booting it up on my computer, and then downloading. Now that Steam's available, it's really easy to access your game library and see which ones are like usable on Linux. I mean, I was surprised with when I got a Mac and I installed Steam, looked at my Steam library, and at the time I think I had like 100 games. I think 54 of them were available on Mac, which I thought was brilliant because, I mean, it didn't mean I had to reinvest in a Mac library of games. and I was surprised that like Mac had so much support, and I guess Linux is now going to get the same support by companies.
Yeah, it's certainly gonna. It's something I think is gonna grow. It'll be nice to have a play about with Linux.
Yeah. Does anybody know if Hawken is playable on Linux or Mac now that they've got their new update?
That's a good question. In fact, I'm
I
trying
don't
to
think
launch
it
it
is
as we
on
speak.
Linux.
Is it on Mac though?
You know, I'm not sure that it is. I know, well, obviously, definitely it's on PC. But looking at the release notes for it, I've got to admit I can't see anything to say that it is on Mac. And I will have a look at that while we're having the podcast and see if I can find out anything different.
Yeah, because they got their new. Is it the Ascension update, which recently came out or is coming out?
It came out yesterday. They were supposed to release it last week, but at like the 11th hour, there was something that was wrong. The team at D-Civ and Meteor Entertainment decided not to put it out. So what they did instead was over last weekend you could play the patch as it currently was. So it's kind of like in a beta mode, and you could have a go. I had a go at it. It seemed pretty stable. They had like one objective, which was try and break it if you could. I think people had a flipping good go at it. It seems like they got a lot of feedback. Repaired it, and it was back out again yesterday. And yeah, it seems okay.
So I guess I'll give a list of some of the main features that are coming out or have come out actually. Then I guess on the new Ascension update. So you've got pilot level. Pilot level is determined by the sum of XP across all mech a player owns. The max pilot level a player can achieve is pilot level 30. And a player with a new account will start at pilot level 1, and as they gain XP, their pilot level will increase automatically. So this allows them to unlock additional customization options, including new mechs, unique cosmetic upgrades, additional internal options, additional item options, and additional tuning points. A mech rank system has been replaced with a new mech rank system. Then you've got so I guess it's the same as the pilot level upgrading system, and you unlock like new mechs, alternative weapons, ability upgrades. There's a new progression mech unlocks. You got new tuning modifications, tuning systems. There's a lot of things. I'm reading through this list here. Yeah, I'm reading through this list here, and it is really, 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 really long. Like I've just got to the bottom of it now, and I just started at the top.
Are you reading from the community playhawken.com?
Yep.
It's a long list, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a really long list. They've even got ongoing updates, stuff like map collisions and map environments. I guess they're always working on trying to get it better and better. But this is a big update, and I can't wait to see. Has anybody played it with the new update yet? Because
I haven't
I'd
yet.
love to see.
But I'm looking forward to being able to do so.
Yeah, I reckon we should have a podcast gaming hour where we check out Hawken and their new update and see how it plays.
I have a little
well
go
for
at it.
that.
But I've got to admit, I was playing it and my computer decided it was going to crash, which wasn't good fun, so I'm fixing it and I'm going to have another go at it at the weekend. I've been having a look while you were chatting, and I've got to admit, can't see that there is any support for it being on Mac. I'm looking at the official forum for Hawken at the moment, and it seems like it's just available on PC. I do know that we did a giveaway which finished yesterday for the Hawken Genesis novel, and
which is a very good comic,
yeah,
which I reviewed on the
really
YouTube
good.
channel.
It's pretty good. I quite enjoyed that actually, but they are looking at bringing out a film for Hawken as well. So
Yeah, they're trying to make the Hawken brand rather than just a game, and the comic really does give you a good storyline into the game, and like kind of why you're fighting as a mech character. And I guess the film might expand on that again, or potentially go to the other side of it, like after you stop fighting, what happens.
I've got to admit, I'd like to see it. I would like to see it split into a couple of different films, really, to sort of see it build up to what's actually happening in Hawken and maybe what happens afterwards. But the graphic novel, which I'm not going to really give anything away because I think
No, I don't
really
want to give anything away. Yeah, you've got to read it to
but that was
understand it.
very, very good. I've got to admit, it did confuse me a little bit with reading the novel, that it was different artists writing the same story. I thought it was different stories, but once I'd got my head around that it was the same story, I really did enjoy it, but I thought it helped when I went back and played Hawken, because you didn't just play going, oh, okay, this is a mech, why are we doing this, what are we doing this for? It really gave you the background in the story for you to be able to play the game and really immerse yourself in it, so yeah, I thought it was pretty good.
Talking of robotic films, has anyone seen the trailer for the new RoboCop?
That is a delightful segue.
Or
I have not.
It's not actually called RoboCop. It's now called
What is it called now?
Ninja Robot who jumps around like a cat.
Ninja Robot.
Yeah, he pretty much, he's dressed in black and he's leaping from rooftop to rooftop.
Oh god.
It shouldn't be called RoboCop. It's a very different film. I mean, I think the best way would be a different name, a film inspired by RoboCop.
Mm-hmm.
Right,
That's very much, yeah.
I mean, the film came out a year before I was born, which just goes to show just how old the film was. And even now, like it's 26 years on, it's still, I think, a hard-hitting film.
It still holds up to its legacy. It's a very gritty film and it's really violent.
It is.
By
It's
today's
brutally.
standards.
It's a brutal.
I guess
film.
the new film you're saying it's not really like it was before. I mean, I haven't seen the first RoboCop, but I guess they're just playing on the brand rather than the idea.
I think it's. I guess it's more a RoboCop for this generation.
Yes.
That's very much it, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
'Cause in the
really
first
like
film-
that costume at all. But okay, I know it's not a costume, but I don't know. I'm looking at it going, Daft Punk,
I know.
Judge Dredd.
He's
I can't really decide. Batman. I can't really decide what film it. If you took the head off and I could only see from shoulders down, I would struggle to tell you what film that was from. If you saw the original RoboCop, and again, if you took the head off and said what film is this from, you would know that that's RoboCop. But this, it could be anything as far as I'm concerned. It really could.
And have you
It's
seen
too
how
generic,
he
that's the
yeah.
problem.
Have you seen how he becomes RoboCop?
No, I've
That's
not
even
seen it
worse.
His it's in the trailer. His car gets blown up, and that's it. He
That doesn't really explain too much.
It's just that's in the trailer, and that's it. Compared to like what happens in the the first film.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember how he actually.
He
How
gets,
did he actually die in the first? Well,
He gets
disfigured in
brutally shot to bits by a criminal. Shoots off his
Brutal
hand.
is
His
the
leg.
word for it.
Yeah, he gets shot like 1,000
yeah,
times.
sorry, yeah, he was when he. Yeah.
Yeah, it loses the impact when it's just a normal car
Yeah.
bomb and you just think,
Yeah, and it's
really?
like from the trailer, it doesn't even look like that particularly exciting.
Yeah.
A car bomb. It's just like, just go turn my key. Oh no.
I think it makes sense to bring back a sort of hero cop who died on the line, sort of thing, but yeah, just a guy who got blown up by his car, sort of getting into.
Do we
his
know
car
when it's being
seems a bit
released?
odd, but
next year.
It's probably going to be the summer blockbuster next. Well, the summer release.
One of the
next
summer
year.
blockbusters, yeah.
What else is
February
there next year then?
2014.
Is R.I.P.D. is coming out next year, isn't it?
Yeah, that is coming out.
I thought that was this year.
What day we got? Oh, actually, yeah, it should be out very
Is it this
soon.
year?
Yeah, I'm
Um,
sure it is, because when I've been in the local Cineworld, they've got posters and the stand-ups for it everywhere, so I'm pretty sure it's going to be this year.
Oh, I thought it might have been early next year.
I think it's hit America already.
Has it?
Yeah.
So
well,
what is this RIPD?
yeah, apparently it comes
There
out
you go.
20th of
Jesus.
September in the UK.
RIPD
So who knows
is the
anything
Rest
about
in
RIPD?
Peace Department, isn't it? I think that's what it stands for.
Yeah.
Rest in Peace Department.
Is this based
Yeah.
on a comic book or?
it is. It's based on the comic book of the same name by Peter M. Lenkov. It was a Dark
Right.
Horse comic book initially, and it's got Ryan Reynolds and Jeff Bridges,
Good lord.
which is it's a good partnership. I like Ryan Reynolds and
Oh, wait a
Ryan
minute.
Reynolds.
Jeff Bridges or CGI Jeff Bridges?
No, it's real Jeff Bridges.
Because they are two separate entities at this point.
There
I mean-
might
Oh, I
be
hope so.
CGI Jeff.
To be honest,
I hope there is.
I'll watch anything with Jeff Bridges
Yeah.
in. Ever since The Big Lebowski, he's earned my trust forever. I have.
So,
Go on.
did anybody say... Sorry, my voice went there. Did people say it has come out in America?
Yeah, it looks like its American release date was on the 19th of July.
Okay, well, I just googled it, and the reviews, IMDb has given it 5.4 out of 10, and Rotten Tomatoes gave it 12%.
Ooh.
And the 12% was from 65 reviews.
Using a source that I have, As of September the 8th, 2013, RPD has grossed 33,000. No, sorry. Yeah, 33,000?
33 million.
And the United
US
States.
box office.
And has been labelled as a box office bomb. With the
dear.
opening weekend bringing in less than 10% of the film's 130 million production budget. Oh.
That's a big
gotta
risk.
sting.
Yeah, that's a lot of money right there.
So that's the sequel out the window then.
Yeah.
Yeah, there goes the next
I'll
one.
tell you what else bombed. I was reading up recently. Mortal Instruments that you've bought.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah.
what?
It was
I want to
supposed.
see that. That's weird.
It was supposed to be like the new Twilight, but apparently it didn't do very well at all. The
Well, I haven't
can
heard
see
of it.
why.
Wouldn't that
It
make
didn't
it the
do
new
well.
Twilight then?
sequel's on hold for it now.
Well, you'd expect that, wouldn't you?
Yes, you would.
You did watch it, and you did kind of look at it and think, yeah, this is Twilight that's not Twilight. Does anybody know any of the storyline to it?
No.
Some
Indulge us,
guy
Con.
just shows us his good body and lots of sparkles and
So
stuff.
are we talking about Twilight here or Mortal Instruments?
No, I meant Mortal Instruments.
Oh, no idea.
Is
What's it
it
about?
is it not like she's a vampire hunter or something?
Well, yeah, I mean, big spoilers coming up. Yes, she is. She doesn't know it. Her mum knows and tries to keep it from her until she's a certain age. They're called shadow hunters.
But wait a minute, isn't this Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it kind of is. It is Buffy by Twilight.
Does sound like it.
You do watch it and think, yeah, this is trying to be Twilight, but it's still stuck on Buffy. It should be on BBC Two at 6 o'clock still. It was okay. It was all right. It wasn't something that I came out of the cinema thinking, I really have to see the sequel for this. I would go and see it if it's on. I wouldn't want to pay for it. I mean, I go with the Cineworld Unlimited card, so I kind of class it as, okay, I see 2 films, whatever I see next I'm not really paying for, so this was one of the films after that, and I kind of felt, yeah, I'm glad that I didn't pay the £9 to go and watch this, so I'm hoping if there is a sequel that they learn something about it, and it's a lot better, because it really does need to be.
Well, Rush is another film that's coming out in the UK on the 13th of September, but came out in America on the 2nd. And that film's actually, looking on IMDb, it's got relatively good reviews, 7.8 out of 10. I'll give you the basic storyline. It's about Formula 1 racing in 1970s, and it's based on the true story of the rivalry between James Hunt and his opponent, who is Austrian driver Niki Lauda. And the story, I guess, just tracks what they did, their lives, and how they were willing to risk everything to become the world champion at that time.
It was apparently it was quite a strife-ridden time where Ferrari had quite a lot of control over F1.
Yeah, it was a big time for F1.
Yeah, from what I understand from people who know a lot more about F1 than I do, it was apparently the entire thing played out like a film anyway.
Yeah, it was very much a thing waiting to be written into a film.
Yeah, I mean the film's been greatly anticipated for quite a while now. I mean it's got one of Hollywood's current golden boys, Chris Hemsworth, in with truly fantastic hair.
Did anybody see Senna, which was more of a documentary than a film, but that kind of touched on the golden ages of F1 as well. It was more about Senna himself and how he died.
Did not.
It was very good.
No, I haven't seen that either.
No.
I am a bit of a documentary person myself.
My dad is a massive Formula 1 fan. He's followed it for years, and he was actually slightly disappointed by the Senna documentary, saying that some of it wasn't actually true to what he remembers, which I was a bit surprised at because I watched it and I thoroughly enjoyed it. So, but
Yeah,
there you go. I wasn't around at the time,
No.
whereas he was.
I mean, I think it's an interesting film. I mean, sort of like we're seeing Chris Hemsworth come off the back of stuff like Thor. You know, this is him like sort of front spotlight AAA films into something which is almost a biopic. It's quite interesting. It's good. It's refreshing to actually see actors like taking like a diversifying role like this. So I'll be interested to see how it plays out. I'd like to see it.
Well, I think we should all go and see it and then chat about it.
Yep. Definitely want to be seeing
Yeah,
that.
definitely.
Maybe we should move on to what's next on the list.
What else we got here? GTA 5. That's going to have an interesting storyline.
Oh yeah, that was coming out, wasn't it?
It's coming out next Tuesday.
Can't miss this.
Next Tuesday.
It's,
And
I think so.
what do we all play it on?
Yep.
I'm going to be getting on PS3.
Oh,
Xbox.
oh, hipster. No, I'm going to go for Xbox. Gonna be that guy.
I get it on the console that my friends have. I'm one of them people.
Yeah, that makes sense, I guess.
Is anybody getting a collector's edition?
Nope.
I can't.
I've already seen the map online. Why would I buy the collector's edition?
Yeah.
So you can put it on your wall.
Don't
Given
be
how
saying that.
ridiculously big it is, you might want to actually have that map on your wall somewhere.
Yeah, I think I might need like a road map. You know, I have to whip it out when I'm lost
Oh, hey.
on my bike, or whilst just after I play tennis. But
That's the thing. I couldn't help myself. I had to.
Yes,
I had
go
to
on,
buy the
Terry.
collector's edition for this one.
what do you
I had
get
to.
then?
It's
Give us
not
the
one of
lowdown
those
on what
things that I
exactly
know.
you obtained from getting the collector's edition.
Well, you get a blueprint map of Los Santos and Blaine County. You get a few in-game items, of course, which you'd expect off this sort of thing. A flat peak hat,
Oh,
not in-game, outside the game, real
That-
actual merchandise, with Los Santos across the top. You get a safety deposit bag with GTA V printed across it.
What's the key
there's a
for?
few
You
other
get a
things,
key in
but
it, don't you?
they've
Is it
gone
just a
from my
key
head.
ring?
Yeah. That key, I believe, is actually for the
Ah,
safety
okay.
deposit bag.
oh, it's a box. I see.
Wait a minute. Okay, you get a
Yeah.
bag and a hat.
For how much?
Yeah.
So
Whoa.
120 you get
That
a
is
game
a lot.
and a bag and a hat.
I presume the hat, of course,
Yeah,
must be made out of
again,
solid
yeah.
platinum or something.
Yeah.
I hope so.
But the map, I've got a picture of the map here,
That's the thing.
and it looks humongous.
Yeah, it leaked.
There's
It looks kind of sparse though, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
I can't wait to play it.
a what?
It looks sparse. You've got the town at the lower end. You've just got
Yeah,
lots
it's
of
almost
wide
like-
expanse.
It's almost like a real area. You know, you got got the town on the edge where you'd normally like populate because of the water around it, and then everything else is just kind of open landscape, which is brilliant. I mean, look at all the roads that you can go down, the fast roads where you can crash at like 200 miles an hour and just fly out with your car and go miles.
Yeah, that's why I think this map is actually perfect to go back to and have the three-player characters to actually play with, because you've got the guy that lives out in the hills, sort of out on his own, and then you get the rich guy that's living in the big city,
Yeah.
sort of thing, and the other guy who's just living like sort of normal life. I reckon it's perfect. I'm glad they
Because
went
you
back
got
to it.
Franklin, Michael, and Trevor are the three people.
Yeah.
So the weird thing I thought though is that there's the three players, except from they don't offer any kind of co-op or any other mode for the single player storyline.
I was about to ask that.
All you have to play all three players yourself. So you got Franklin, who wants out the ghetto lifestyle, Michael, who wants back into the crime limelight, and Trevor, who is a psychopath. And apparently it blends brilliantly into everything the series stands for. So I can imagine that the characters are going to be really good, but you're going to have to try quite hard to, play each. I don't know if there's going to be like leveling up each character or leveling up like you in general.
I think there'll be the missions where you got to do a certain amount per character before you can move on to the sort of the main storyline mission, which will include all
Yeah.
of them, or at least two
I mean,
of them.
it's they're talking about the map
But,
again.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, you look at the land area and you're like, that's huge, but you forget that now you can also go swimming, you can go underwater diving. There is so much more that you can
Yeah.
explore.
So,
Yeah, I just wonder, has any of you actually been
I have.
on the
I've actually
GTA
signed
website?
up to be part of a crew. I think it's called on the Rockstar website, because I'm going to
Yeah.
be playing with my friends online,
Yeah.
which comes
Well,
out 2 weeks later.
Terry, I know
Sorry.
you're going to play with the rest of us. Your
Yeah, it
real
does, yeah.
friends. What system have you, what system have you ordered it for? Oh, damn it.
Xbox
Patrick,
360.
it's stuck with me.
Oh, good lord!
we really should have planned this better.
I don't have an Xbox. I just have a PS3. But
I mean,
I want to get it on. I want to get it on PC when it comes out.
I
If
could-
it comes out.
I could be swayed to go to PS3.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
mean, that way I'd have to pay for Xbox Live.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't use my PS3. I don't use like a console enough to warrant having to spend 40 quid a year on it.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the thing. After I buy this, I will not be buying.
Terry,
Well-
what's your favourite Grand Theft Auto?
£120.
Oh,
My favourite Grand Theft Auto is not actually San Andreas. It's
Why
Vice
is that?
City. Just the whole tone of the game. It was just a lot more sort of off the wall, sort of 80s music, sort of
Yeah.
bit more fun rather than taking
What I
the game
find with
completely
Grand Theft
serious.
is that different versions always appeal to different age generations.
I like Grand Theft Auto 4.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah, that
you're
would
all
just suit you.
Yeah,
you've all
That
forgotten
I
the greatest
think
Grand
I'd be
Theft Auto of all
expected,
time. Grand Theft Auto
London.
London. There you go.
Was that the first
knew
one?
that was
just
after
Grand
me.
Theft
I
Auto.
knew
No,
that
it was like the
Like a
second or
spin-off.
third.
Really?
Remember?
Yeah,
Well,
it
Grand
was the
Theft
third
Auto
one, yeah.
3 wasn't in London.
You're the monkey
No.
on the cheese grater.
well, no,
It was
Grand
it was
Theft
top
Auto-
down. Yeah, it was one of
Grand
the
Theft Auto 2.
PlayStation
Yeah, that's the
1
first
titles.
Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, Grand Theft
No,
Auto
no, the first
London.
one was set in some American city somewhere.
But some
Oh,
generic.
but it was still top
Liberty
down,
City,
wasn't
the
it?
first
Was
one.
it?
Liberty
Yeah,
City.
it was still top
Liberty
down,
City,
wasn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Then there was Grand
Okay.
Theft Auto London, which
Yeah.
was blinding.
Was there 3 or 4 that was top down? I think there was just the 3, wasn't it? London was the third, and then they went to Grand Theft Auto 3.
Well,
which
actually,
was
no,
the
there
third
were
first.
4 because you had Chinatown Wars.
But that's
The
a
top
DS
down
game,
Grand
wasn't it?
Theft Auto, Yeah.
Yeah, but that was
Does that really count?
that came
Well,
out a long
Grand
time
Theft
after.
Auto,
It,
yeah.
it was very well received. Chinatown was.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm missing out here. I'm probably gonna have to like play one of these games at some point.
Have you not played a Grand Theft Auto?
I've never played it. I have, and I don't know where the heck I got it from. But I've got the Grand Theft Auto Vice City soundtrack box set. I don't even remember buying this. I
Oh,
think
that
it's
is
been
a good
brought
box
for me,
set.
but I've never played one of the games.
Well,
I
it's
mean,
a good-
okay, I lie. I have. I played
They're so
like
good.
10 minutes of one, but I really didn't get what I was supposed to be doing, and
Yeah, I
went
kind
back
of-
to Lego.
I've played more GTA as a sandbox game rather than the actual storyline.
Yeah, you tend to.
Yeah, I think that's what most people do, especially with the amount of different things that you can do in GTA 5. Like, even just looking on the website, there's a few things that they haven't even sort of released. It just says coming soon. But the amount of different things you can do.
I mean, who
is
thinks that?
incredible?
Do you think the 2 week waiting for the online is going to be a deal breaker for anyone, or do you think people are just going to wait for the online, or are they going to get it anyway, play it for 2 weeks on the single player mode, and then hop over?
I think
Oh, it's
people.
Grand Theft. They're going to wait for it.
I mean,
Yeah,
Grand
I
Theft
think-
Auto 5 has got so much stuff in it.
Yeah.
There's no point you're going to be sat there at home going, I'm bored. I wish online was out. You're going to have so
Yeah,
much to do.
There's going to be a lot. I think it's going to take more than 2 weeks to complete the game.
What was the reason for the 2 weeks delay?
Yeah, definitely.
I don't think they gave one. I think it was just because they weren't ready.
Do you think it's to stop story spoilers?
Yeah.
Well, the GTA have actually said, they've come out and said, like, just be warned, there is going to be leaks and there's going to be spoilers. It's inevitable. So just deal with it.
'Cause it could be everyone can complete the story within 2 weeks. So when you go online, that 9-year-old, when he tells you the ending, it's not going to spoil it for you.
Yeah, that would suck. I would want that.
Yeah. There he is just telling you what happens in GTA 5 and telling you about what happens in the Sixth Sense and other things like that.
Darth Vader
Yeah.
is your father.
He's going to tell you that at the end of the game, Nico goes bowling with you again.
Spoiler.
Right, maybe I should get rid of my Batman's Arkham Origins and get GTA.
Yeah, I think you should get that.
I've got the collector's edition ordered for that. So
What, Batman?
yeah.
I'm very much looking forward to that game, actually.
Does any of the Batman games or anything come out on the PS Vita? Because they've got a new version of that coming out.
Oh yeah,
And,
it's Black
Oh, they
Gate
have, haven't
something.
they? Yeah, Vita.
Yep. It's got a new LCD screen instead of an OLED screen. It's slimmer, 20% slimmer or 15% slimmer, I think it was. And it's just generally, I don't know, it's coming out in Japan first, so I don't know if it's going to be coming out over here anytime soon. You've also got the Vita TV, because I think they're pushing heavily the integration with the PS4. I don't know if you guys have seen that Japanese video of the new consoles.
Yeah, I saw it.
And it's, I don't know, it looks really good, the integration, being able to buy something on your phone, then going onto your Vita, playing it on there, like via streaming it from your PS4 if you leave it on, or having that the PS Vita TV thing. Looks like a really good option,
I like the
especially for
spectating
$100.
option.
It's interesting.
Yeah, the spectating option is good.
Interesting that the new Vita's dropping earlier in Japan because the PS4 is dropping later in Japan.
Yeah,
It's
the PS4 is coming out in February, isn't
yeah.
it? Which is really late. 2 months.
2-3 months later, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
3 months later.
But I mean, I think people don't realise that Japan is a completely separate market. They have different tastes, different desires. Like
Yeah.
the launch titles for the PS4 in North America will not be the same ones that will sell well in Japan. They're going to
No.
have to have their own localized content and games that are going to sell it. So I mean, I don't think it's a terrible move on their part. to have like sort of stepped it back a bit.
But do you think you'll get a PS Vita? Is anybody here to start with getting a PS4 over an Xbox One?
I'm considering it. Yeah.
Yes,
I think I will.
Yeah,
if I was
I will
to, have the choice, I'd get one.
Yeah.
I'd get that one.
I mean, this will be the. I've been Xbox for the past 5 years at least, and I think this is me making the change back to PlayStation after a long time.
Yeah, I mean, would you want to?
Yeah,
would you
exactly
think,
the same.
from what you've seen of the PS Vita so far and what they've told you, do you think it would be a good addition? Would you consider getting one if they drop the price a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, I've always wanted a Vita actually. There's a lot of titles on it that you can't get anywhere else, like the new Wipeout. Greatest game of all time.
They've created a lot of new games because it kind of flopped at the beginning. It really wasn't a big thing.
It was expensive at the beginning.
Yeah, and it just didn't have many games, and there was not much integration with the PS3, and it wasn't really worth the upgrade over a normal PSP. But now with all the additions, I think a lot of people are gonna buy one. I mean, it would be good if they made a bundle and just took a bit of a loss and kind of sold it for the same price as the Xbox One with the Kinect. I'm sure a lot of people would much rather have a handheld console than a camera that spies on you. Anybody else here think that was a good bundle? Like, if they were to do that, let's say, to be fair, make it like 50 quid more expensive than the Xbox One. If it was a PS4 and a PS Vita.
Oh, I'd be
Wasn't
sold.
that planned anyway?
So?
Hasn't that been planned already?
Has it?
I'm pretty sure I've read about it before. It's just going to be a low spec Vita with a PS4, which makes perfect sense.
Yeah, that would be a really good idea.
How?
I'd like to see if I could get a used 3G Vita, because imagine playing your PS4 games anywhere, because you could stream over the internet with the 3G.
How does 3G work though? Do you need a contract to connect to a
You
network?
need a SIM card. You don't need it necessarily to be on a contract. You could have pay as you go, but you need like a mobile SIM, I think.
Oh, that sounds dangerous though. I mean, this is a world now where people pay £30-40 per month on their smartphone contract, then maybe another 20-30 on their iPad contract, so they've got a tablet and a phone, and then you want to put a gaming console in there as well. And we're looking at least 3 SIM cards for the heavy user. I mean, people are going to be forking out about £100 on data every month.
Yeah, that could be the issue. I mean, have you seen what Nintendo have started doing? They're offering free Wi-Fi for people to like hook up. What's the thing on the? Has anybody got a DS here?
I've got I have got a DS, the white DS. It's not a 3DS though.
Has anybody got a 3DS?
No.
My son does.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Well,
almost yes.
Nintendo have hooked up. I think it's only in America so far, but Nintendo have hooked up with places like McDonald's, and they're offering free Wi-Fi for Nintendo DS customers. So I guess if PlayStation was to do something like that, offering like free Wi-Fi for Vitas, then I think that would encourage people to use them a lot more.
I mean, where in Nintendo stood at the moment? I mean, the Wii U hasn't done tremendously, so.
No, and they also went into the higher stock market in Japan, Nintendo, and their stock prices fell as well. I think by like 7% or something bad. So it's not going well for them at the moment. And I mean, they've announced like a load of new games that are going to be previewed at Eurogamer, which we're going to. Well, some of us anyway, me and Con and James. Damn right.
Oh, so just not me then.
Well, you can come if you want, but
Or me.
Oh,
Don't worry, I'm
yeah.
not.
No.
But so I guess we'll be there, and we'll try and get as much
we'll hold the
content
fort.
about the new Wii U games as possible, because it should be interesting to see what they're going to do to try and boost the sales.
I think Eurogamer is going to be epic, especially with PlayStation and Microsoft.
Yeah.
Going.
There's a lot of playable games there. All of the new big releases, apart from Call of Duty, but they never normally go to events. You got Battlefield 4, Assassin's Creed, FIFA, the new Lego game, which I know Con will play living daylights out of. Also, we'll be able to show us new technologies like the Oculus Rift. I think it's the first time it's going to be in the UK at an expo. You also got the Nvidia Shield, which is an Android-based like mini game console, which kind of has like an Xbox controller with a little built-in screen on it. So that should be interesting.
I can't wait to go. I'm so excited now about going. They've updated the page, didn't they, on Eurogamer a couple of days ago, to show you the additional games that are going. And it looks really, really good with what games are going to be there.
A lot, and it's sold out as well.
Yeah, that as well.
Which is always a good thing. Can't complain when things are sold out like that.
I'm just looking forward to Lego
There's a lot of demand.
again.
Yeah, I think I think me and James might just,
like
go
ours.
off for a bit, get some lunch. You can just sit there, play Lego for a few hours.
Mate, I'll have completed it. You'll come back and I'll have done it.
You'll have all the
It's like a game.
achievements for it.
Or worse, he'll be stuck.
They'll have to drag
Yeah,
you away from
well, yeah. He'll be stuck
It's
somewhere.
not-
There'll be a glitch
it's
in the
not
Harry
game.
Potter all over again.
Harry, no, Harry, you've confused me now. Kyle and I went to a game lock-in for The Last of Us. I've got to admit, it was so embarrassing because all the public went and then we went, and they knew that we were coming. They knew that we were coming from the website, and they always make sure that we get to play on the big 48-inch TV. And it's brilliant. So they put me on it to play this particular game. It's not quite my kind of game. I liked it, but I got stuck in about 2 or 3 minutes, kept getting killed. And it was just so embarrassing that you play on the biggest screen there and you just kept dying. Eventually I was just like, yeah, Kyle, can we swap? Because I couldn't do it. It was a brilliant game, but I couldn't do it. And I get like that with a Lego. And I find that sometimes it frustrates me, especially when you've got it beforehand so that you can review it, or on day, and you get stuck and there's no guides anywhere. I have to resort to like eating humble pie and asking my child how I get around something, and it's just getting a bit ridiculous now that I keep getting stuck and saying, look, how do you do this? How do you do that?
So if Con's game for Eurogamer is definitely going to be the Lego game, James, what game are you going to be most interested in trying to play or have a look at?
This is bizarre. As much as I want a PlayStation 4, my biggest game will be Dead Rising 3, which is an Xbox exclusive.
Yeah,
Really?
that does look like a good game.
Yeah,
Did you guys play Dead Rising 1 and 2?
I
Yeah,
played
1 and
Dead
2.
Rising, the first one.
Did anyone play
Yeah,
Case
I played them
Zero?
both. But they
No.
No.
It was an
Oh,
Xbox exclusive, set in a small little petrol station. But it was one of the best Dead Risings ever because it was so compact, and you just
Yeah.
had hordes of zombies. Wonderful game. The problem with the bigger Dead Rising games is they try to cram too much in at you at once. Martyn, did you play the first one?
Yeah, I've played both of them. Well, I haven't played Case Zero. I played 1 and 2. 2's
So you-
got a really great co-op mode in it.
Yeah.
yeah, it does, yeah. Probably one of the best co-op modes
Yeah.
for a sort of open world game.
What's so good about the co-op mode?
Well, essentially, it's two of you doing the thing you were doing on your
Oh,
own.
so it's
Essentially,
just like
that's it.
It's
basically
two of you
single
dressing
player,
up as
but-
women.
Wow,
Yeah, but like,
sounds good
I
then.
mean, yeah,
Strap in.
I mean, Dead Rising's just Capcom's silliest approach to zombies ever. It's Saints Row for zombies. Essentially, is the best way to look at it.
Yeah, sounds
So
good.
That is a
So
good description of it.
Two of you dressed
Yeah,
up like idiots, make essentially taking a chainsaw to a kayak paddle and just running around swinging it.
Terry,
Making the lightsaber from a torch
Yes.
and some jewels. How that works, I'll never know, but still, it's
Terry and
great, it's
Martyn,
fantastic.
what are you guys looking forward to us looking at and getting content of? Well, not of, but at Eurogamer. Is there anything in particular?
I'm looking forward to see what Battlefield 4 plays like.
Yeah, me personally, it'd probably be Elder Scrolls
Sure.
Online.
Yeah, that does look good actually.
I'd like to see how that.
Because that's a
actually play,
console game, isn't it?
personally. It is coming to both consoles, I believe, the PS4 and the Xbox One, but I'd have to play.
Yeah,
it on
that does look like
the
a kind of
PC if
PC
it's
game. I
possible.
mean, myself, I'm looking forward to the most, probably the technology side of things actually. The Oculus Rift and the Nvidia Shield. I'd be really interested to see how they play. Really want to get my eyes on I guess my eyes, but my hands on the Oculus Rift, because that looks like a really cool concept, and
Yeah.
it's the first time it's in the UK, so it should be. Well, I think it's the first time anyway. I haven't seen it publicised anywhere else, but I can only imagine there's going to be a massive queue.
Does it say what game it'd actually be running on?
Oculus Rift. Well, they've kind of got
Or is
you
it?
got Half-Life 2, which has been developed a bit for it. They have like a beta mode. There's a load of demos.
Yeah.
If you actually have an Oculus Rift, if you got the developer edition from Kickstarter for $300, I think it was. There is
Yeah.
a few different games that people have developed specifically for it. I think Portal works on it. You got Team Fortress 2 definitely works on it. That was one of the main games. And you also have
Nice.
the fact that you got the 1080p screens now. Before they had 480p panels in the developer edition, which was the one that got all the attention for it. but now they're putting 1080p screens on them, so I guess the experience is going to be enhanced. But I don't know. I reckon there's probably going to be like a few of them there, and it's going to be an extremely long queue. I'm going to queue up all day, play it for like 5 minutes, be sick everywhere because I'll get travel sickness, and it's going to be a terrible experience. But hopefully it'll be a really good one.
Do you know what's going to be great, Patrick?
As long as you're near the Lego stand, though, you won't get lost.
If I stand in this, if I keep walking off though, I mean, if I've got a controller in my hands, I might end up just walking off, just leave with the headset on. But it does look like a.
You'll know where it is if they've got Lego on it.
Oh yeah, definitely. We'll be sticking around the Lego area. It's just like Oculus Rift is next to that.
Did you hear one of the F4 requests on the Oculus Rift? They want something near your front door, so if someone walks in the house, it'll alert you. Because, like, obviously when you got the Oculus Rift on, you've got your headphones on, you can't really get anything. So they wanted something so, like, people don't come in your house and make you shit bricks.
That is actually a good feature.
Yeah, kind of need something like that. Because imagine if you were sitting there, kind of. Would you even sit at your desk if you wore an Oculus Rift? Because you could be lying in bed theoretically and just have a controller in your hands.
I guess.
Do you need to? I don't even know. Like it's obviously connected by cable, but if you plug it into your computer, if the cable's long enough, you could be anywhere. You wouldn't need to be sitting at your desk like the same way you would be when you're looking at a computer monitor.
You've opened up a whole new line of questioning, which I was unprepared for. I don't even know how to answer that.
I think we should be going round actually and asking where would you be if you had an Oculus Rift, and I definitely think we should start with you there, Patrick.
Okay, bathroom.
Oh no!
No, because imagine that you could go to the toilet and be in a different world.
That is a good tagline for it.
That takes reading on the toilet to a whole new level.
Yeah.
Oh.
James, where would you
be? Could be anywhere.
It's hard to top that toilet one. The pathetic thing is, I'd probably be sat on the sofa in front of the PlayStation.
Yeah. And with the PlayStation coming up with their own version of this, apparently, which again is probably going to be at Eurogamer, they were saying, and also the Japan, convention, or Japanese electronic convention. So that should be interesting to see if the PlayStation 1 is the same kind of concept.
Con, what about you?
Well, I was going to say the same thing sitting on my sofa, so I'm trying to think of somewhere more interesting that I would be.
It's the Kinect problem all over again.
See, what you could do is stand on a balcony and then have like the wind in your hair whilst playing Skyrim.
That just sounds too dangerous.
Yeah, but
I'd actually like to have it connected to my laptop and just sit on the train, just playing it.
Just to imagine that, you look like such a pillock. You were sitting on a train, like you'd headbutt the glass by accident because you'd be on a train simulator sitting at the front of the train.
No, I wouldn't be playing Train Simulator. I've got an 11-year-old who has all of the train simulators. I wouldn't be playing that. I can't stand Train Simulator now.
I've never played them.
You're more of a farming simulator guy, I guess.
Oh, Farming Simulator, that's a game. That is definitely a game.
No, seriously, it is a good game.
Truck Simulator EU, that's a good game.
They got Street Sweeper Simulator.
That's too much.
That's
too
hilarious.
specific right there.
The thing is, I don't understand who these games get marketed to. I mean, who was sat there thinking, what I really want to do? I'd love to be a street sweeper, but I don't actually want the job.
Yeah, I don't actually want to get paid for doing this thing. I'd much rather just do it in my own time in my room.
I mean, what's next? Tesco simulator.
Yeah.
I would love a Tesco simulator. Come on.
Oh, that'd actually be a good idea.
I would shout at customers.
It's like supermarket sweep again.
Supermarket sweep with the Oculus Rift.
Only if you could start throwing the cans of beans back at people. They get a bit mouthy. You'd have to have like real world like things that would happen. Like someone would get the wrong item. You'd have to go get them. Get the tags off of them and stuff like that. How do you do that with a controller though?
Shake the controller.
Oh, you could even have the special self-service till mode where every 2 minutes you have to slowly walk over and scan your card on it because it hasn't made something properly.
Ask them for ID because they're buying alcohol. That's
it. And fixing the self-service and making sure they have alcohol.
So there you go, developers. You can have that one for free.
Yep, Tesco Simulator.
Actually, you say that, but has anyone heard of Papers, Please?
I have heard of it, but I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Wait, yes. No, I have. I
It
think.
started as a. Well, yeah, it's basically just a border. You're sat on a border, and anyone that comes in, you have to ask for their passport and their visas, and then you have to check it over, and make
That's
sure
a
it's
full
all
game.
correct.
Yeah, it's a game about
They say
immigration,
who
isn't
they
it?
are.
People
Yeah.
play that.
Yeah. I'm trying to think it was done by now.
That doesn't sound like the most interesting or thought-provoking game.
Yeah, well, the thing
It's
is,
surprisingly
it sounds
addictive.
really dull, and
I-
therefore
it's
it
that,
must be
but-
amazing.
It
Yeah.
sounds like a game the British National Party would make up.
Get us all trained up.
What, there's-
Yeah.
Well, I imagine someone in the BNP probably delights in playing that game and just smashing the no key just over and over. Like,
Yeah.
Failed.
It's like, oh, you came from a country inside the EU. No, still no.
I mean, what's next? What's next? The SMP simulator.
Oh, yeah.
It'd be the same game, wouldn't it?
Well, I guess so.
Ah, fucking that's another.
But
That's
anyway,
another game there.
Like
Just
everybody.
House of Commons simulator. Every now and again,
Now
you just
go
have to.
too far.
No. Every now and again, in the mic, you have to be like, here, you know, kind of make noise.
Do you have to keep on pressing the button to stay awake?
Oh yeah.
at the end,
And,
is like you get points for how non-committal your grumbling is. Like,
Does that mean that you can get like Monarchy Simulator and just like, you know, go and do what the Queen and Prince William does, just go and open
Nothing.
the games and sit at home and do the Olympics and count
Yeah.
money and stuff?
You've got to
That's
use
a
the
good one, actually.
You've got to
You
use
could
the
be,
motion control in your foot in your air control to slowly wave up and down at people.
I
a
would
good
get
idea.
that. I would get that.
I would definitely get that. Oh my god!
What?
I don't know. My phone making noise.
What is? Why does your phone sound like a remote control car?
I literally have no idea.
Throw
It's
it.
making noise.
Is it your remote controlled car?
No, it's my phone. My phone. I think it was on Instagram, and then it just started making noises.
And it done donuts.
Just
like a
grown.
remote controlled car.
Just grown wheels and drove off.
Yeah, it's the thing with this new technology.
I'll tell you what did drop today as well. World of WarCraft 5.4 patch,
Explain
which is the last patch of the Mists of Pandaria expansion, Siege of Orgrimmar.
again. Explain.
So, essentially, this is the end. This is essentially the whole expansion pack coming full circle now. The leader of the Horde, Garrosh Hellscream, essentially has gone absolutely nuts and corrupted himself with magical powers. So the people of the world have decided to club together and end his reign of evil and general racism. To be honest, he's just not a nice man. So the patch dropped this morning. It went live about 10 o'clock, and I spent a good 2-3 hours trying to log in. In classic World of Warcraft fashion, there was about 3-4 quest givers and about 1,000 people stood on top of them.
I do
Yeah.
like that about them.
But the expansion pack's bringing a whole new raid in, obviously, which is lovely. But it's also bringing in flexible raiding, which is nice. So if you can't get enough people to make a 10-man or 25-man raid, or you've got an odd number, flexible raiding tweaks the difficulty. So if you've got 17 people, for instance, the raid will work perfectly just for them.
Yeah, I always find my 25-man raids don't really work very well because I only actually have 17 people.
Yeah, so I mean, it can be great for some of the smaller guilds, because I know I've been in guilds where we've struggled, where people have been away for summer or they've got stuck going somewhere or something. So flexible raid gives that option to people, so it means that there'll never be a time where people have to call an entire night's raiding because they're missing people. So it
I
should
don't
be
know. I
quite
don't think
nice.
flexible raiding would really help too much. Especially with my 10-man raids. When I go in and some of my friends drop out because of connection issues.
I think, yeah, I mean, it's probably not going to be an on-the-fly thing, but it's certainly like for an afternoon where you've got half your guild on, you want to do something, it's quite nice.
I've never played World of WarCraft. I was making cool
But-
that up. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Honestly, you played that off pretty well.
I was just repeating what you were saying and adding bits to it.
You know what, Patrick? You sounded really knowledgeable there.
Yeah, you really did.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I've never.
Now I'm
I've
confused with
never
how
even
much he
played
actually
World
makes
of
up.
Warcraft.
What else
Has
have you
anybody
lied to us
else
about?
played it? Other than
Oh, I
Martyn?
lie to you about everything. My name's
Yeah,
Nathan.
Terry, have you played it?
I've played. I've played the first two expansions. Wrath of the Lich King, was it the last?
There
one?
was, before this was Cataclysm, then before that was Wrath, and before that was the Burning Crusade.
Okay, yeah, I played Burning
you,
Crusade
James? You
and
played
Wrath of the Lich King.
No, I'm an Old Republic player.
Oh,
you
I
still
wanted
playing
to
that?
be.
you
When I
still
can
playing?
afford to, yeah.
Do you still play that?
It's still going. I mean,
Yeah, they've had a new expansion for it. It's just their free to play is basically don't play if it's free, pay for everything.
yeah, I noticed that. Like, what was it? You can't go on your mount if you haven't got a subscription.
Well, at one point you couldn't even run.
What?
What?
So you're
That's a
walking
bit
through
much.
these massive space stations,
That
slowly
is a
crawling.
tad bit much.
Patch notes: free-to-play players have no arms.
Yeah. Players cannot use their screen.
Jedis cannot have lightsabers.
Yeah, James, I think you should share your name if you are playing, then I'll log on and play.
I could get back
I
on.
would share my name if I remembered it. It has
Fair
been
enough.
2 weeks.
Oh,
Oh,
a whole
2
2
weeks.
weeks. Okay. I gotta admit, I brought it. I got the collector's edition when it came out. I played it for a month, and I haven't gone back yet.
What did you play
What?
as?
Oh god, I didn't even know.
A panda.
I can't even. Yeah, I was a panda.
You know, there's more pandas in World of WarCraft than there is in real life. That's pretty sad.
Oh, that
I
is.
can't remember what I was. I
That's
want to say I was a
really
zebra.
depressing fact.
Yeah, it is.
Um,
You know what I'm looking at here, actually? Someone retweeted, I'm looking on Twitter, the new GTA 5 map with the GTA 4 map superimposed. The whole of the GTA 4 map fits into the area of the town of the GTA 5 map.
But that's not so impressive because GTA 4 was small anyway.
But there must be like 4 or 5 you could fit into.
Is it as big as Just Cause 2?
I don't know. I don't think anybody's made that comparison yet.
I think it is. I think I saw figure map. I think it is bigger than Just Cause 2.
It's going to be a
That
huge
was
map.
Huge.
Yeah,
And also with the online, they were saying that they have the ability to add things whenever they like. Like they're going to progressively add more islands, more places, and I guess you just fly over to them with your crew or on your own. So that should be a good dynamic. I can't wait to become a professional stockbroker in the game as well. Make lots of money and then realise it's not real life and it'll just suck.
Has anyone played Red Dead? What was it? Red Dead what?
Red Dead Redemption.
That's it.
Yeah,
Has anyone
Red Dead
played that
Redemption.
online?
No.
Yeah. Online, yeah. It
Do you
was
know?
just a massive
That's
sandbox
it.
as
You know
far
the
as I
lonely
can remember.
experience is playing that online on your own, wandering around the desert on your horse,
Oh dear.
just looking at the cactus.
I can't wait for if there's going to be any more new game modes because I liked all of the GTA 4. I still play it now actually. It's one of the games I play nowadays with my friends. You play some GTA 4, like do races across the map, especially if there's a massive map like the GTA 5 one is. If you could race from one side to the other, that'd be awesome.
Talking of racing to one side and the other,
Well, they did say that there was 500.
Yes.
let's race off.
I can't drive.
Oh my god, James.
That is the best segue.
That was a pretty good segue. This thing goes for ending a podcast. That wasn't too bad.
Let's race off.
I mean, if you've got any better segues, you could always email us at podcast@museculture.net.
That is a good segue.
And,
we should
you know,
get a Segway email address.
Yeah, we should just have one. Yeah, segue at podcast.museculture podcast. No, just museculture.net.
Podcast@podcast.podcast.
Yeah. Just do podcast at Muse Culture's podcast segue podcast.
But
museculture.net.
the actual email address, just before you
Yeah, the actual email address before we get confused is
The actual-
podcast@museculture.net.
yes,
so
it is. So if
So
you
what what do people use this email address for?
well, they can send abusive messages like you do, James, through Skype. You know, the
This
same
is
kind of things.
Guys, if anyone's listening, we appreciate pictures as well.
Yeah.
Not
any
from
kind
the
of
awkward pictures.
not,
any kind
not
of
all
pictures that you wouldn't normally send.
Yeah,
There's some-
we'll share them on Twitter and Facebook.
Yeah, if you put the hashtag of Muse Culture, if you tweet us anything at Muse Culture, is it at Muse Culture?
The
Have I got that
Twitter
right?
Yeah.
is gmuseofficial, as we haven't. We're struggling to change the name from. Our
Okay, so just
game
hashtag
games.
Muse Culture, and we'll pick it up and retweet it. If you've got any interesting pictures to show James, 'cause I'm
All
sure he loves them.
questions.
Yeah, all questions to ask James, like
Well, not just me.
why is he naked right now, stuff like that.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
On the internet, no one knows you're made of cups.
Nobody ever knows.
But yeah, that's about us for tonight.
Yep, that's been episode 3 of the Muse Culture podcast, and see you guys next week.
See you later.
Later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.